Well, in our last class, we looked at animals and how they stretch. Today, we are going to look at something new. What environment do you think we are looking at?
I think it's a forest because of how many trees there are.
Yes, it could definitely be a forest. Many animals live in forests, like deer, squirrels, and even snakes. Have you ever been to a forest before?
No, but I have been to the zoo.
Well, a zoo does have the same types of environments set up. The animals living in these environments have adapted to live in them. That just means they successfully learned how to live there over a long time. This picture shows one special thing animals learn, so that they can survive in the forest. Do you know what it is?
Is it to hide? The animals in the picture are hard to find.
Yes, it actually is. We call this camouflage, or the ability to use their bodies to hide in the environment. Many animals have some form of camouflage. If you look at the squirrel on the tree branch, you can see an example of camouflage. I bet when most of you looked at this picture, you only saw the bear. But the fur of the squirrel is brown with stripes of white. If you were an animal that wanted to eat a squirrel, it would be hard to find it in this forest environment. If you think about deer, their fur is similar to the squirrel, making it easier to hide as well. Some animals use camouflage as a warning to others. Many animals that are bright colors actually warn others that they are poisonous. Wasps are usually yellow and black. This coloring is meant to show other animals that they are dangerous. Can you think of any other animals that are brightly colored?
Some snakes are yellow or green.
That is true. Many brightly colored snakes are poisonous, like the yellow eyelash viper and the green mamba. Both are brightly colored, which is a sign to other animals to stay away. Now, let's listen to the learning station.
Fast Track Kids, did you notice any new plants on your way to class today? Did you see any new flowers that you didn't notice the day before? Or a different kind of leaf? What did you see with a closer look?
Hmm, did any of you see any plants or flowers outside? Probably not, since it's still cold. I am going to show you some pictures of some interesting plants. Well, look at this plant. It's brightly colored and it looks like it has sharp ends on it. What do you think is special about this plant?
Well, it looks like it might keep animals from eating it.
Yeah, you're right. This plant is called the Venus flytrap. Can you guess why it's called that?
Does it trap flies?
Well, it does trap flies and it actually eats them. The Venus flytrap is one of the only plants that doesn't survive from only sunlight and water. It needs to eat insects. It does this by having an insect land on the inside of the plant. You see the red and pink? It's a bit sticky. When the plant feels the movement, it closes its leaves and traps the insect inside. It probably got this ability because the environment it's found in doesn't have a lot of nutrients in the soil, making it hard to survive.
That seems like a really scary plant.
It can be, but it only eats insects. Let's go ahead and look at another plant. Oh, look at this! It's gigantic! What do you think it is?
It looks like a really big tree in a desert environment.
It is a really big tree, and its name is the dragon's blood tree. It's called this because the sap makes it dark red like dragon's blood. Sap is the liquid sugars and minerals that are inside a tree. You know, we actually make maple syrup with the sap from maple trees. What else looks interesting about the tree?
The branches of the trees are really thick and wavy.
Yes, and because of this, some people think it looks like an umbrella. It stays green all year. Do you remember what a tree that stays green all year is called?
It's called an evergreen.
You're correct. Evergreens stay green all year long. The tree roots are also used in toothpaste.
As young scientists, you are learning to observe things more closely. Scientists also often make drawings or models so others can learn more interesting and important information. Do you think it would be easy to describe a tree to someone using just your words? Why or why not?
Why do you think that scientists need to look closely at the things they are studying?
They need to pay attention to learn about something.
Scientists need to pay close attention to their work, or they can make mistakes. They also have to study their work very well so that people like us have the right information. Many scientists make drawings of the work they are studying. Can you think of a reason why they would do this?
To show the things they are talking about.
Yes, you're right. Well, the things they write and draw are details, and it can show their work. Many years ago, before we had cameras, scientists had to draw everything with lots of details so that it could be put into books. Could you imagine if someone had been lazy and drew something incorrectly? What do you think would happen if someone had drawn a cheetah with a short tail?
Well, if I had never seen a cheetah before, I would think all cheetahs had short tails.
You're right. We might all think that cheetahs had short tails if the scientists had not been careful when they were drawing. Scientists also did this to show how animals hunted and lived in their environments. Why do you think this is important?
I think it's important because I might think a kangaroo wants to eat me.
Well, you're lucky. Because scientists did their research and recorded the details, we know that kangaroos are.
They are herbivores because they eat plants.
Yes, so now you know you're safe and you don't have to worry. But do you think it would be easy to explain everything with just your words?
No, I think it would be hard.
Yeah, it would be pretty hard. Can you explain to me how to make sugar?
I have no idea.
Explaining something like that with just your words would be hard. What if I asked you, how was the universe created? Could you explain that with just your words?
I think it would be really hard, but if I read about it, I could explain it, but it doesn't mean I understand it.
So, some things can be explained easily with your words, but describing a tree or an animal with just words could be really hard. That's also another reason why scientists make detailed drawings, because we want to see what they're explaining with our eyes. I want you to imagine, how would you describe what a tree looks like? It seems easy at first, right? But it becomes harder when you think about the details. Is the tree tall or short? Does it have flowers on it? Are there any animals on the tree or in the tree? The more detailed something is, the harder it is to explain.
What would help show or teach someone about a tree or plant and how it grows?
So let's think about that. What could help us understand how a tree or plant grows?
Having a picture of a tree would make it easier.
It would, but a picture won't tell you the name of a tree or the parts that make up a tree. It also doesn't explain how a tree grows. Do the leaves grow before the roots? Or how would anyone know with just a picture?
Oh, I know. A model of a tree.
That's correct. Many scientists create models of the things they are studying to show the details they are explaining. I'm going to show you a model of a tree. Okay, so here is a model of a tree. In the model, it has labels telling you the parts of a tree. Under the grounds, we can see the roots. The roots are important for something. Do you know the roots' job?
I think the roots help a tree get water.
Well, yes, the roots are important for drinking water, but they're also important for pulling nutrients from the soil that the trees need to grow. The roots will do something as a tree gets bigger, though. What do you think that is?
I think the roots will get bigger and longer just like we do as we get older.
Yes, the roots will grow longer and more complex as the tree gets bigger. And this is because just like we need to eat more and drink more as we get older, so do trees. All right, next we see the trunk. The trunk is the main stem of a tree. From the trunk, something grows out. What grows from a trunk?
I think branches grow from the trunk.
Yes, branches grow out, and we have small branches, big branches, but on these branches, something grows. What is it?
Oh, it's leaves. Leaves grow from branches.
Yes, leaves do grow from branches, but there's something else. What is something else that you think grows from a branch? Think about food.
Oh, I know. Fruit.
Yes, we have apple trees. We have, can you tell me another fruit tree?
We have orange trees.
Orange trees and,
We have cherry trees.
okay. What else? Can you think of any other trees that have fruit on them? All right, so moving on. There's also one more thing that might grow from these trees, and they're called flowers. We have very beautiful flower trees. In Korea, there's a festival that a lot of people like to go and see. Do you know what that's called?
Is it the Cherry Blossom Festival?
Yes, it is the Cherry Blossom Festival. And many people like to go and see these beautiful flowers as they grow on the trees.
As you learn new things as Fast Track Kids, isn't it fun to tell other people about things you have learned? You are not only scientists, you are also teachers. And today, you are going to make a wonderful tree model to help you demonstrate and teach how a tree grows. Think about a tree that you have seen or would like to see. Is it deciduous or an evergreen? Who remembers what those words mean?
Okay, so I would like you to draw a picture of your tree, but I want to give you a little more information before you do. So let's talk about the evergreen tree. Where do you think this tree comes from?
Well, it looks like a Christmas tree, so does it come from the North Pole?
Yes, I can see why you might think it's from the North Pole, because it looks like a what?
A Christmas tree.
Yes, a Christmas tree. Now on Christmas, what color is a Christmas tree?
It's green.
It is green. So that means that this tree changes colors or doesn't change colors.
It doesn't change colors.
You're correct. An evergreen stays green all year long, which means if we look at the other picture, we have a deciduous tree. Now, what do you think happens to this tree during the seasons?
I think the leaves change.
The leaves do change. In the spring, the leaves are probably growing. In the summer, you might see some flowers or fruit. In the fall, what happens to a deciduous tree's leaves?
The leaves change to colors like red, orange, brown, and then they fall off.
And then in the winter, do you have leaves on the tree?
No, there's no more leaves.
Yes, trees do lose their leaves in the winter, and they kind of go to sleep. And you could say they're hibernating, almost like bears. And they wake up in the spring and start the process all over again. So, when you draw your tree, you can choose a deciduous tree or an evergreen tree. Think about it. Today we looked at how animals can hide by using camouflage, and we also looked at how scientists can draw models to show more detailed work. Now that we looked at our model of a tree, and we talked about the deciduous and evergreen, I want you to make your own model of a tree for homework. Remember, label the branches, leaves, trunks, and roots. Will your tree have fruit like apples or oranges? Or will your tree grow pretty flowers? How about animals? Is there going to be an animal living in or on your tree? Once you draw your model, explain underneath what type of tree it is. See you next time.